A Trump donor who provided millions, literally millions of dollars to the Trump campaign for the purpose of fighting alleged voter fraud, claims that have been unfounded, now wants his money back. He realizes that he's the one who's been dealing with fraud on behalf of the Trump campaign and realizes he's been duped. So Fredric Eshelman is the businessman in question here. He's a businessman from North Carolina, and he said he gave $2.5 million to True the Vote, which is a pro-Trump election ethics group in Texas that promised to file lawsuits in 7 swing states as part of its push to, quote, investigate, litigate, and expose suspected illegal balloting and fraud in the 2020 general election. But then all of a sudden, True the Vote actually dropped all of its legal actions and discontinued its Validate the Vote 2020 campaign. And so of course, naturally, if you've donated $2.5 million to this organization and they drop all of these actions that they were allegedly be engaged in, you'd wanna know why, you'd wanna know what the money is being used for. And it turns out that they just kind of stopped returning Eshelman's calls. So the founder of Eshelman Ventures LLC, so yes, he's a venture capitalist, said he asked regularly and repeatedly for updates, the lawsuit asserts, but his requests were consistently met with vague responses, platitudes, and empty promises. Eshelman, the former chief executive of a pharmaceutical company, claims in his lawsuit that the nonprofit offered to refund him $1 million if he would drop his plan to sue the group. He is seeking the return of the full $2.5 million that he says he wired to this organization. And so he started off with wiring $2 million, and then later he sent another $500,000 on November 13th. Now keep in mind that the Trump campaign has literally lost or withdrew from 38 different court actions, because they have absolutely no evidence of voter fraud. They're unable to prove that there's widespread voter fraud. They're unable to, basically make a case that really resonates with any of these judges. And so in a statement, the organization finally responded and said this, I love this quote: "Our mission is much bigger than just one election. It is about repairing the system for all future elections. Basically, go F yourself. Thanks for the money, bro."
Yeah, no, I love it. I'm here for this story. I'm glad they robbed them blind. Anyone who sends any money, let alone $2.5 million, to a group that has pro-Trump and ethics in the same sentence deserves to be robbed. Ethics, you voted for Trump ethics, you funded Trump ethics, you got Trump ethics. Congratulations, you got what you paid for. The whole point of Trump is that he's a con man who's here to rob you. So another group decided, we'll follow our role model. We'll set up camp, and our aim will be to rob idiot suckers who think that Trump is the ethical one, and we're all on the right wing, the ethical ones. We're the ethical ones. And so yes, there's terrible voter fraud. Ooh, we got our lawyers working around the clock. They're working on all the leads. So yeah, sure, that's gonna happen. And by the way, why did they drop the lawsuits? I don't know. I don't know if their intention was to never file lawsuits and just rob idiot Republican donors. More power to them if they did. I don't care if they're right wingers. It's just there's no honor among thieves, right? And number two.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I do have some details on that, Cenk, because soon after the story broke, the organization claimed that they did file lawsuits. They filed lawsuits in 4 different states, but later dropped those lawsuits, which again still doesn't explain what happened to the $2.5 million, right? Really, they spent $2.5 million on those 4 insanely short lawsuits, which they immediately dropped. I mean, it's so obvious that there's that this guy got conned. That the American people, the Republican Party, Republican voters, 68% of them think that Donald Trump had the election stolen from them, stolen from Donald Trump, I should say. And they've been conned. It's just, they've probably given, small dollar donations to the Trump campaign thinking that it's going to these legal battles, but it's not. It's going toward paying off Donald Trump's debts, which is stated in the fine print in the emails that the Trump campaign is sending out to its supporters and donors.
Yeah, I don't know. We might have to hire a reporter to cover this trial. because there's going to be such great conservative tears all around. So the point I was making is, Anna, if this group is running an actual con, they would file those lawsuits so they can go to court and go, hey, we tried, but it turns out there was no evidence that Trump had actually won the election. There was no evidence of fraud, and Trump himself lost, and his allies, his other allies, have lost 38 cases in a row. So obviously we were right that there was no evidence, and we were right to withdraw those, so I get to keep all the money. So it might have been part of this scam in the first place, but maybe it's not a scam. Maybe they actually did go to court and they were like, oh, this isn't gonna work, we don't have any evidence. Okay, let's just drop the lawsuits and keep the money. Either way, it's a bunch of idiots in a circle of some sort, working each other's chains, if you will, and going, oh yeah, Trump won, man. Yeah, we don't need no stinking evidence. Trump won. Here, take my millions. Oh no, give me my millions back. Oh, I didn't know that we're all idiots. Well, come to find out, you are an idiot. And so we're all thrilled that they took that $2.5 million from you. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.